Jesus Christ knows us so well. He knows about humanity. That's why the scripture says that he became flesh and he dwelt among us, and he has an understanding of what it's like to live in these human bodies and to be people who have been given a nature of, well, let's say sin, because he's given us a nature to have a choice. And we can choose obedience or we can choose disobedience. And Jesus understands that very, very well. And so the teachings that he gives us in the 5th chapter of the book of Matthew just deal with that very reality, that we are people who live in a body of flesh. I have taught many, many times now on this radio broadcast about the true born-again experience that John chapter 3 talks about, with the encounter of Jesus and Nicodemus, and Jesus saying, you have to be born again. And Nicodemus didn't understand it at the time. I think as time went on, it became more clear to him. But that true born-again experience where you become aware that you are spiritual and there's spiritual activity going on in your life. But prior to that, people function under the carnal side. And so Jesus addresses these things in Matthew chapter 5. And it simply gives us the pattern of how to deal with things in the mind of Christ, not in the mind of the carnal person. Because the carnal person will fall prey to jealousy and lust and anger, all of these things that will drive us, lead us into sin, and cause us to do a lot of damage in our own lives and in the lives and relationship of our loved ones. That's why he tells us such things as forgiveness and forgiveness and forgiveness. And he makes that point very, very clear, is we have to overcome the carnal person. But you see, this is the great hope, that when spiritual awareness truly comes, then you learn to rely on your spiritual self. And you find yourself being more and more directed by the spiritual man rather than the carnal man. And the carnal man becomes less effective in leading us into the areas of sin. And that's why he's telling us, he said, look, if your right eye offends you, pluck it out, cast it away. If your right hand offends you, cast it away. Take those things out of your life that you know are going to cause you to fall prey to the carnal man. And instead, begin to replace those things with things that will lead you to depending and putting your reliance on the spiritual person that lives within you. And we use that expression, walking in the Spirit. And that's what walking in the Spirit is all about. It's about allowing your spiritual awareness to lead you and guide you and direct you, that you're not subject to the passions of the human body. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.